That's it. It was just for you guys. Okay. Um, let's look at self-care. Please feel free to chime in. The reason I'm saying that is because I think we all look at self-care very differently. Um, there are some myths out there, by the way, that massage therapists get lots of injuries, things like that, and I want to dispel those. I'm not suggesting massage therapists don't get injured, and a lot of people say they have very short careers. I don't want to say that some people don't have very short careers, but I've actually seen quite the opposite. At the Princess Spa, when I was a manager there, my #1 top earner was also my oldest massage therapist. She was somewhere around 65 years of age. One year she pulled down $96,000, which means she was working her butt off. So you can have a very long career in massage therapy. I know people who have done it forever. My massage teacher is 70 years old. You can still go get a massage from him, David Blakey, down on 7th Street or 7th Avenue in Missouri. And he still gives massage at Westwind Academy. It used to be a school, but now he doesn't teach anymore. He just does massage. So it can be a lifelong career. The reason that a lot of people say people don't stay massage therapists very long is some don't. It is a stepping stone career. Some people become massage therapists for 5 years while they're going to college to get to their degree. Some people become massage therapists while they're on their way to becoming a spa manager. Some people become massage therapists, before they do this next thing. So that is not unusual. But I just really want to point out that you really can do this as long as you like if you take care of yourself. And I don't see injuries any more prevalent in this field than I do in anything else. I always think it's very unusual to me that the accountants that we work on, that sit in front of a computer all day, seem a lot more messed up than the massage therapists I work on. Yeah. Yes, Miss Young, please.
I was just gonna say that, I think people with desk jobs probably get injured more than us.
They do.
Because, you can probably, even massage your own neck, and then we know how to, and, it would just be way easier for us to fix ourselves than them.
Yeah. Well, and what we see, too, is bodies actually really don't like doing the same thing over and over again and sitting at a desk job. They call sitting one of the #1 killers. It's not good. It's fine to sit, everybody, but it's not good for you to sit 8 hours straight. It's very bad for your body. Bodies like to be in motion, like to move, then rest. Move, then rest. Yeah, I agree. Again, dimensions of wellness, I'm not going to go into this, and not because I don't care, because I want you guys to decide your own dimensions of wellness. But the point is, wellness isn't just your physical health. It's, does your brain feel fed? Is there spiritual meaning to what you're doing and to your life? Do you have positive social connections? Massage can provide a lot of those, by the way. I feel like I was friends with my clients. Those friendships stayed inside the room. I didn't hang out with them afterwards. But they still felt like friendships to me, just like I feel like I have friendships with you guys, even though I don't hang out with you outside of school, right? So anyway, think about all that and make sure that you're fulfilling all those things. Massage is a strenuous occupation. Strenuous is not bad, though, but it's a strenuous occupation. I will tell you that all the injuries that I have come across with massage therapists were usually overuse issues of using the wrong parts of their body too much. So I've said this before, but I want to give you the thumb speech really quickly. I don't, it's been a long time since I've worked out, but I'm sure I can bench press a couple 100 pounds. My thumb cannot bench press a couple 100 pounds. And when you push down on somebody's back with all your force, you have the power of your pectoralis major, triceps, all this stuff going down to this tiny little thumb. So that's why thumbs get blown out. There's nothing wrong with using your thumb. There's something wrong with using your thumb full force. So the minute you find your client needs a lot of pressure in some area like the back, you throw thumbs out, you go to all 4 fingers. When that's not enough, you throw those out, you go to forearms. When that doesn't work, you go to knees. When that doesn't work, you hop up on the table and run up and down their back. But the injuries I have seen are because people try to put too much force into a body part that wasn't designed to take it. The other injuries we see a lot of is when people put lots of force with their hand not in neutral position. Your hand does better in neutral position. This creates a lever against my wrist. This causes problems. And so keeping your hand in some type of neutral position tends to make a very, very big difference. And I want you guys to always be thinking, am I feeling muscular pain or joint pain? If you're feeling joint pain, you need to immediately stop doing that thing and figure out, and not stop massaging, just figure out a different way to do it. If you're feeling muscular pain, you probably just need a break. Miss Clayton.
So last night I was experimenting on my husband, trying to figure out different ways to use my body to reduce pain, because my wrists and my hands up here and my thumbs have been hurting me.
Yeah.
And I don't love using elbows because I feel like I lose control and I don't really have the sense that I have with my hands and fingers. And I've been trying to do forearms, but I feel kind of klutzy like that. So I know some of that's just practice. But are there any other things you can do, like, to increase pressure? So I was, like, trying to do this and then push on it and things like that. I just didn't know if there's any other creative techniques.
There all are sorts of stuff. I don't know about creative. I don't know if I'm that smart. But don't get me wrong, doubling your hands up, using fists, things like this are very effective. And I know you already said this, but I want to be really blunt. It's not just kind of practice that makes the elbow more comfortable. It is practice that makes the elbow more comfortable. So it won't, you're probably not going to become a career massage therapist. You're probably going to be a career massage therapy location owner, right? So it may not matter for you, but for anybody who's going to massage full time, you must get good with your elbows. You must get good with your forearms. It's not that you stop using hands altogether. It's a must, and that's what you're here to train. You could all use your hands when you came in here. I honestly think you would all benefit from going through lab and saying, I'm not going to use my thumbs for the next month on anything. I've done that, but I did that when I hurt my thumbs, and I had to keep making the house payment. So I kept going to the spa, and I kept working on people. And I threw my thumbs out. Before I knew it, they were fine. I could use them a little bit again, and whatever, I could go back to doing stuff, but I had to leave them out all my heavy moves and stuff. So yeah, I want you to, yes, it's awkward to use your elbows. Yes, it's awkward to use your forearms, but you can do it. So I would push you to say, work through the awkwardness,
Okay.
Yeah. I know it's a lot. I know it's not the answer you wanted, but I really believe in that answer. Yeah. Yeah. We have a whole bunch of hands up. Miss Carrillo.
Yeah, so when you were saying if it was a muscle problem or a joint problem, I had both. The first with muscle problem when we first was doing this, but in clinical, I actually was having the joint problem, and it was during my effleurage, and I asked Miss Borish, I was like, I'm doing something wrong. It's in my joint. Can you help me try and figure it out? And I did it, and it was what you did with the wrist, the second example, and it hurt. So she told me to use my fist, which is why it's a little awkward now because I have to get used to the second. But I first used my hands and my four fingers to go down the back, and then when I get to like the hip or quadratus lumborum area, that's when I switch to the fist and finish off the stroke like that. So it was just an adjustment.
Thank you. Yeah, everybody, by the way, I'm not saying don't use your palms. Palms are fantastic, but the force of my palm is going directly through my wrist into my arm. This acts as a lever back here. Go watch some karate videos. There's always some guy grabbing somebody's fingers they go by to twist them, right? I mean, that works against you. That lever works against you. Miss Young.
So this is kind of to help Miss Clayton. So my left arm is kind of dumb compared to my right arm. So when I'm doing elbow work, I'll hold my arm to stabilize it so it doesn't go where I don't want it to go. Because obviously you use your elbow for a lot more pressure, and I don't want it moving around, so I'll stabilize it while I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and that helps.
Agreed. So you found a solution. Yeah, I agree. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Miss Hendrickson.
Yeah, I guess just to add on to that a little bit, pretty similar, but what I do with my elbows, especially in like the lamina groove area. I mean, it depends on the person. Sometimes it's really easy to find. Sometimes it's a little bit harder.
It is.
So I like to put my other hand like up against it, like as a guide marker, or like right up onto the spine. So that way I'm like, okay, now I'm putting my elbow right up to my hand, and I know it's going to be like in the right spot. And also, I found it really helpful to sometimes, like just using one body part, like elbows, but it's also really helpful to close your eyes sometimes because you can focus more on how things feel. And I feel like my elbows and forearms have already become more sensitive to like little details. I can like notice bumps and things more specifically than I did when I started.
I couldn't agree more. Actually, your eyes actually kind of throw you off in massage. The last school I taught at, my boss there, who was very good, she would blindfold the students in some of the labs. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's a good idea because, people that are blind, they have a very, they had to train their sense of touch to read. And
I don't want you to actually see where the lamina groove is, right? We want you to feel where the lamina groove is, and it gets you into the right mindset. We don't want you even thinking about it as a location. It's a feeling location. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Right. Because everyone's is different. Nobody's back is going to be the same.
And we want you exploring. And so if you're looking, you're not really exploring below the surface. Yeah, I couldn't agree.
Exactly.
Yeah, try those beautiful things you got over your eyes. Try lowering them, everybody, and just close them. And yeah, see what happens. Mr. Singletary.
Yeah, I got that. What Ms. Hendrick was saying about closing your eyes. I got it from either you or Mr. Ybarra or both of you, and it's effective because what I found that I was doing, and Mr. Ybarra always harped on me, because I was looking down at the body to see what I was doing when I really should have had my head up.
Yeah.
So Mr. Lee, he was telling me about a lot of my body mechanics. I didn't even realize it, that I was bending over just a little bit too much. He said, straighten up, straighten your back, straighten up. I said, oh yeah, caught myself. I said, oh, okay, I'm doing it again. I'm bending over, not realizing that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So what I've been trying to do with more and more is to close my eyes and actually feel the body.
Yeah.
Feel the parts.
Yeah.
Move as your hand is going up, and then I learned a little trick from Ms. Green. She told me, like, when you're going down a person's back with your forearm, because a lot of times, because I would have too much lotion on their back,
yes,
and it would slip over to the spine. She goes, no, just grab the one hand, and then go up if it's too much lotion.
I love all that. Yeah, think about it, guys. In some way, I'm oversimplifying, but in some ways, massage is a beautifully done hug, and you don't look to hug somebody well. That's a feeling experience. Yeah, well said, sir. Thank you, Mr. Overman.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a suggestion / critique just because we're going through this chapter now.
Please.
So in the beginning of class, like week 1, week 2, I hurt my tendon that runs up to the thumb or the joint in there, and it's took me quite a while to heal it.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, had we done this class and talked a little bit more about don't use your palms for pressure and heavy deep tissue and stuff, I could have avoided that injury. So.
Yes.
It'd be nice if in the beginning we just were like, hey, don't do deep tissue until we do this, or do this before we do. You know what I mean?
That's a very legitimate criticism, sir. Yeah. I'm sorry that we had to have this process happen with you to take that, but I will most sincerely look at putting this in the beginning, or maybe putting maybe a mini version of this in the beginning.
Just a little something to save our wrists.
Just like the safety thing you get when you take off on an airplane or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was trying to give deep tissue with straight palms in the beginning. Obviously, we shouldn't be doing that.
Yes. Thank you and sorry.
Oh yeah.
Sincerely. Oh, it's a really valid criticism. I'm sure it's Mr. Ibarra's fault, not mine, but it's very valid. It's mine, by the way. I set the curriculum. It's 100% my fault. Okay. I'm not going over this. You guys can see it. You read it. Hey, I will recommend something though to you. You guys might want to think about starting to stretch out before you do massage, including your hands. So I actually know a lot of massage therapists have been doing it years and stuff. They actually go up against a wall and stretch out their hands and everything. And the idea is they're getting all their fascia warmed up before they go in. The other thing, you won't notice this until you're in clinic or something. If you can warm up before your first massage, it really helps. Again, stretching out, but even just walking around and things like that really help, because it's that first massage that actually kind of kills you when you go in cold and you have to go really hardcore all at once. It's just like if you go to the gym and all of a sudden you run on the treadmill full speed and you haven't warmed up, it kind of kills you for the day. So just stuff to think about. I mean, this is a physical experience. There's no doubt about it. Mr. Godot, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm so sorry. It's been a long morning.
It's okay,
But-
sir. Are you okay?
Yeah, my phone had died too, so it
Poor
just
guy.
I just got back on.
Well, I have a very important question for you, sir. And thank you for checking in. But I have a very
Yes.
important question, sir. We can't even finish this day if you don't give us the final gratitude of this massage class for 2021. What are you grateful for today, sir?
Man, I'm so grateful for this class in general because I don't know, everybody. I don't even mean to distract, but I just feel like
You're not.
as far as the type of, like, we can't be in massage school and have bad attitudes and can't be around people, and like, so everybody's trying their best to be their best versions of themselves,
Yeah.
and I feel like we're getting there.
Yeah.
Regardless of all of the stuff that goes on in our lives, like,
Yeah.
we're still, like you said, treat everybody like a dog, like when your dog sees you. So yeah, I'm practicing that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was a great final gratitude. I agree.
Right.
Yeah, we're all trying to do the best we can, and we're all flawed. I sure am.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I am. Yeah, thank
Still
you.
working.
Still working. Work in progress. Thank you. Nutrition is, your book thinks nutrition is the stuff you eat. It certainly is. I will tell you, nutrition really matters in massage, having a good breakfast, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of studies that say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, by the way. But anyway, nutrition can also be what you feed your mind, too. You know, what you put into your head. Miss Hendrickson.
Oh, I was just like learning about some herbs, healing herbs and stuff, and I was thinking about maybe making like tinctures or massage oils or something like that. Would that be under my scope of my license to sell those, like, or not?
No, but it's not under the scope of your license. But that doesn't mean you can't do it, right? So if you made, what I mean is, you're not. Well, let me answer this much better. I really apologize. So the scope of your license you only get in trouble when you run into somebody else's scope of their license, right? So when you're a massage therapist trying to be a chiropractor, that's a problem because there's a chiropractic license, and actually in some ways they come after you.
Right.
But like if you want to make lotions and potions, as long as that's legal to do and sell for people, I don't think you need a special, I don't think you need your massage license to cover that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now if you're giving tinctures for them to ingest and that's health advice, I don't know what the laws are around that, but I don't think it's really even in the parameters of your massage license. So it's not like you're going out of scope. It's just that actually has nothing to do with your massage license. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You just need to find out, can I do that?
So, but then if I was like to try fight like taxes on that, I don't know. I was just wondering, like maybe I'd need a business license or something to do that.
Well, there's two separate issues here. The tax is just, technically speaking, for the IRS, even if you have a garage sale, I doubt anybody does this, but you are supposed to, anytime you make money off a transaction, you're supposed to pay tax on it, period. IRS doesn't care if it's drugs or tinctures. They just want their money.
Right.
They don't care if it's legal or not. They want you to report your money. So the tincture part is just probably a health thing. If you're actually, it's something people ingest, you should see about health codes on that. That would
No, I'm not. Well,
This is
no,
topical?
I was thinking more like for
Top-
massage
topical?
or like
then you
topical stuff.
topical stuff. Massage therapists all the time make up aromatherapy oils for their clients. And
So that could just be added on like as an extra service or
Yeah.
something. Like,
in fact,
for your
I know we're going to have a little business class. Miss Clayton's like, yes, it can be, and it's a really good idea. Yeah, I'll tell all of you, by the way, I had this thing for a while where I had all these different aromatherapy oils, and my regular clients, I'd allow them to kind of put together their own scent.
So yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
didn't even charge them extra for this. But by the way, the other way you can go with this is you can charge people extra for aromatherapy. You can be like, for $5 extra, would you like a lavender or whatever? And it's great because
Right.
it costs you 50 cents extra, and it's the same massage for you, and it's very hard to upsell massage. So I highly recommend that. But I like to create the signature oils for them because the client, I don't know, it's kind of their special thing.
Yeah, kind of like get to know them and what kind of smells they like before you.
And
do
then
that.
they associate that smell with their relaxation. It's just for Henry. It's just for Sarah. It's just for whatever.
Right.
And they come in. And that was just kind of a cute thing. But
Yeah,
all of
that's
those.
a cool idea.
Anyway, yes, you can do that. And I don't think it falls under any license. You could just do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just be careful not to put too much highly concentrated aromatherapy oils in your stuff, and make sure people don't have allergic reactions to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
All
Like
that stuff.
eucalyptus and stuff can be really intense.
Yeah, like 3% eucalyptus is enough. Yeah. I told
Yeah,
you.
I got this book and it shows like how to make it and how many drops of each thing. It's from the library, so I'll have to return it, but it's really cool.
I told you guys all the eucalyptus story, right?
Yeah, with the
Okay.
person at the spa.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
It's
bad.
actually one of the most horrific things I've ever seen. Okay, moving right along. I just don't feel like giving you guys. Hey, you know, definitions that you've already read in the book. That's why I'm not even finishing my sentence. I apologize. Proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Hey, there is a lot of literature out there right now on high protein diets, low protein diets, no carbohydrate diets, high carbohydrate diets, only grain carbohydrates, low fat diets, high fat diets. I really invite you all to try them all. It is a very interesting experience to feel what your body feels like when it's starved of protein, or to feel what your body feels like when it's starved of carbohydrates, or to feel what your body feels like when it's starved of fats, or to feel what your body feels like when it gets different sources of those things. I honestly think it's a very learning experience. I kind of think everybody's different, and instead of arguing what's the best diet, because I don't know, and I think it's a bit arrogant to say I do know and that I know what's best for all of you, it's a very interesting experience. I have done that with various types of, meal plans and things I was on, and it is very interesting. You can actually tell a very different feel from one thing to the other. Miss Carrillo, please.
Yeah, so I was first on like the very high protein, and I had carbohydrates and I had vegetables because I was doing lifting before. And I did do that a little bit during clinical, but I was just feeling tired, so I changed, and I didn't want to use the microwave, so I switched to salads. That's when I switched to salads. And I found I did have more, I was able to breathe easier and everything, but then my muscles weren't repairing as much because I didn't have as much protein, and I think that's what led me to, get sick and everything.
Maybe.
But it was just crazy feeling the two different sides.
Yes, that's what I'm talking
low
about.
protein,
The
high
extremes.
protein.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For you, by the way, I'm not suggesting that anybody here should be on any diet, including a vegan diet. That is your. I think you really have to decide for you what works for your health. But I'm saying experiment with it. Also experiment with increasing your roughage. We forget that fiber is part of your diet as well. Mr. Jones, talk to us about diet.
Yeah, I was just gonna add to there's no specific diet for anyone.
Yeah.
It all just depends on what your body is at that state of time. For me, I have pretty much no body fat. I've got to eat a ton of protein. I have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, my body will just eat itself.
Yeah.
Now, someone in a different situation, it's going to be a totally different ratio to find their healthy medium.
Well said.
So,
I
the
love it.
best thing to do is to try everything.
Yes. And by the way, speaking of scope of practice, you guys cannot tell your clients what diet to be on.
Yes, do not.
You can't, by the way, you can say what I do is. You're welcome to share
Yeah.
personal information. Like, what I do is a keto diet, that's fine. But do not give them health advice. That is not under the preview of your license, and that can get you in trouble. You are not, that's kind of giving medical advice. It's actually nutritional advice, but you're not supposed to do that as a massage therapist. Ms. Hendrickson.
Yeah, I think a lot of problems that people have when they try to switch to eating like a lot more salads or going vegan or something is they're not getting enough calories. So if you're switching and you're like in the middle of something else and your calories are greatly reduced, then that can also like
That could be, sure.
make you tired. You're gonna have fatigue
Okay,
and
sure.
stuff. So I think that's just. I mean, you can still get plenty of protein without eating meat.
Sure.
You just have to,
I agree.
you know,
You're preaching the
plan
choir
it.
here, yeah.
Just make sure you're including things that have all the essential amino acids. And then there's like some things are incomplete proteins, but that just
Sure.
means you have to eat
Yeah.
the other thing, like lentils and rice. Like alone, they're incomplete. But if you eat both, then you get all the essential amino acids. So just make sure you get a variety. Of
Actually,
whole
the real secret is if you're hungry on a vegan diet, just come to Tap Scott's house.
food. Yeah.
Nobody is hungry at my
Yeah.
house. It's
But I
not
think
good.
mainly the problem they're like, oh, I mean, all the salads, and then like
Sure.
the salad is mostly vegetables. You're just not going to be satisfied. So
It's hard.
lots
Yeah.
of things like beans and stuff help a lot with that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Richards, please.
When I used to get asked about diet and stuff, because obviously I'm slender,
Yeah.
I used to think half of everything. You keep doing what you're doing because you're obviously enjoying what you're doing, and just cut it in half.
Wow, that sounds very disciplined.
Job.
I
Job.
You know, I hate that answer, sir, because that answer requires me to modify my behavior and look at my issues with overeating. Instead, I want to find out secretly that it's either the proteins or the carbohydrates, or there's a magic carrot, or there's something I can do, because I do not want to deal with the fact that I'm an emotional eater and just eat less. You're telling me I should just eat less. I hate that.
But I think people put too much pressure on themselves. So I say, you're obviously comfortable with what you're doing, just cut it in half if you want to lose some weight, because you're doing too much of something,
Yeah.
because you're getting bigger.
No, yes,
So-
that you're talking to me, and I actually 100% agree with you. What I said is I think I make a joke because I think I want a magic pill. I think people want a magic pill for stuff, and you're telling me I have to modify my behavior, which is the hardest thing in the world. You know, yeah.
But that's easier than putting pressure on yourself to be what other people want you
Oh,
to be.
gotcha,
Or what
yes.
you think's
I gotcha.
normal. That's just easier than, putting pressure on yourself,
Okay.
in my opinion.
I'm going to think about this while I'm on the cruise ship, and I'm gorging on things. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Richards. Mr. Bob. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. So we are talking about the lose weight, right? What I want to see is before I talk to my sister-in-law in China.
Yeah.
She's kind of it's not that fat, but she always tries to be more slim.
Yeah.
So she, right now in China we have a lot of business shops doing that. It's kind of cream stuff and put on the body, and maybe they use fire thing to burn the fat.
Wow.
So you don't need to. I actually in the beginning I didn't trust that because it sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
But my sister-in-law just paid the money and get to try that, and she really lose a lot.
Yeah. I feel like if I lit myself on fire, I would lose a lot of weight too. Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't do any exercise, workout. She just laid on the table, and the person put some. I don't know how to call their name, but it just look like cream. Put on the body, and there's something just burn the fat, so you will sweating a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy, and it works really well.
Cool. Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, everybody. Vitamins. I just want to make a quick. This is not about whether you should take them or not. Be careful with fat-soluble vitamins. So you cannot overdose on water-soluble vitamins. In fact, because we put vitamin C in every single product in the world here, you're probably getting like 75 bazillion times the amount of vitamin C you need, and it won't hurt you. But things like vitamin A, you can actually overdose on vitamin A. And here's what's interesting. Usually the symptoms of overdose on a vitamin, these are fat-soluble vitamins, the symptoms of overdose on a vitamin are the same things as an underdose. Same symptoms. So what happens is the problem with some fat-soluble vitamins is people are taking all this vitamin A because they've decided they need to take it, and then they start having some symptoms. They go look it up on the internet, and the internet says that's the symptoms of low vitamin A. Well, it's also the symptoms of vitamin A overdose. They tend to be very similar. And so they'll take more vitamin A thinking they're low on it. Somehow they're just not absorbing it. So just be careful. Just because they're vitamins doesn't mean you can't overdose on them. And this does not happen from a single dosage, but it's if you keep going through and you keep ramping up, and you have to take pills, by the way. You're not going to get it by eating too many carrots. But the point is, you can overdose on vitamins. Fat-soluble vitamins stay in you long enough that you can actually overdose on them, and you get symptoms that often show up as a vitamin deficiency. And so you can get kind of messed up and be like, maybe I'm not taking enough vitamin A. Maybe I should take 10,000 times the amount, that kind of thing. Just something to be careful about. Water. I'm not going to talk to you guys about water. You know how important it is. But I will say you are all water babies. They say you're like 70% water. I'd say you're more like 99% water. You're essentially just sacks of water with chemicals in them and things like that, around sacks of water, around sacks of water, around sacks of water. Your cells are mostly water. Those are wrapped up in other cells, wrapped up in fascia, wrapped up in more fascia, wrapped up in more fascia. It's all about water. People tend to tear their tendons and ligaments when they're dehydrated because it's all about water. Water helps you process everything. You're a big bag of water. And it can be overdone. It is true you actually can drink too much water, but it's hard to do. Water. I'm not going to get into food labels with you guys. Sleep. So, there is this thing we have in our country that is a badge of honor, and you will hear it from your clients all the time. It's a badge of honor that people are stressed. They love telling you how stressed they are. They'll ask you, you'll get this all the time the table, they'll be like, aren't those the tightest shoulders you've ever felt? Those must be the tightest shoulders you've ever felt. Oh my gosh, shoulders are tight. I bet I'm the tightest client you've got. Yes, you're the tightest client I've got. I literally tell them that sometimes, just quiet them down. It's a badge of honor to be stressed, and it's a badge of honor to work really hard and not sleep. And there are an awful lot of studies that suggest that lack of sleep leads to all sorts of other problems. Please don't cut into your sleep. When you get lack of sleep, when you sleep, you are in the parasympathetic state and you are fighting cancer. You are rebuilding muscle. You are fighting off disease. Also, when you get a good night's sleep, you wake up the next morning and you don't forget your wallet, crash your car, get angry at somebody. All of those things are very, very key. One of the things I really do when I'm concerned about the next day, really hard day ahead of me, something I'm really nervous about, I go to bed early. Go to bed. Please. You have my permission. Please sleep. Sleep. Miss Hendrickson, yes.
Oh, just something I learned specifically about the brain that's really cool about sleep is that all of the waste products in your brain, everything that the cells need to flush out, that only happens when you're asleep.
Yes.
So
And those
when
waste
you don't
products,
get sleep.
those waste products are linked to things like Alzheimer's disease and such.
Exactly.
Sleep is
yeah.
very, very important. And it's so funny that we would take this very biological thing. You wouldn't walk around and be like, I haven't peed in 3 days.
Right.
No. So why are we so happy that I only got 2 hours sleep last night? Oh.
I think it's because, it's
It's a badge of
acceptable to be workaholic.
Yeah.
In America, it's very common. It's almost like people are proud of it. Yeah, I worked way too much. I worked 80 hours. It's that's not healthy, but
It's not.
okay.
Yeah.
Good for you, I guess.
Get some sleep.
Yeah.
It's a big problem. Okay. So there is something called compassion fatigue, which is the fatigue we get from being compassionate towards others. It actually takes a lot out of you to be very kind and loving to other people. I think it's the right thing to take out of you. I think it makes you more full of love in the long run and stuff like that. But remember, you are giving more than just your physical massage. It is a lot to listen to your clients, their problems and their pains, and to be positive about them and to be there for them. That's really important. And I think actually one of the best things for fighting compassion fatigue is to leave it at work. So I absolutely adore you guys. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. But I try not to think about you when I leave work because I need to have my life too. Right? I don't want to suffer from compassion fatigue. And so do that with your massage clients. Love them while they're on the table. Care about the fact that they're going through a divorce and their dog died and, you know, all that stuff. But then leave it there. You do no good taking their pain with you. So it really, really is tough. And that's where sleep helps too with that too. But please, Miss Carrillo.
I feel a little out now. Mine was about the sleep.
That's okay.
And I was gonna say that I remember reading early in the days when we were learning about the spine and everything that the discs they regenerate when you go to sleep because of all the pressure and everything. They regenerate the water, and you wake up sometimes like 2 inches taller. And I thought that was funny, but it's crazy how much sleep really helps regenerate the body.
Yes, that 2 inches is a bit much, but
Yeah.
you are about a half an inch taller when you wake up in the morning, and it does seem like your discs soak up fluid at night, which they need. Soak up fluid at night, and then they're more spongy the next day. And so just the process of laying down is a very good thing. Well said. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It was half an inch because I was joking because I've always been like 5'2.5", and I'm
Yeah.
like, I could have been 5'3" in the morning this whole time.
That's right. You could be. That's very true. I love it. Miss Young.
So this is kind of about sleep as well. But I'll often, like, when I was younger, like, my, what is it called? Insomnia, was like the opposite. Like, I couldn't sleep, and now, like, I sleep too much, which isn't entirely bad. But, like, I don't have, like, any acne, like, I don't know. I just feel a little better.
Yeah.
I think it's better for me.
And I do think you can sleep too much. But by the way, it's like I have a friend when she's depressed, she's like, she just sleeps all the time. But we were discussing this. We were discussing this, though. It sure beats a lot of other alternatives, though. Right? I mean, sleep's not a bad choice to deal with stuff. At least you're not causing devastation with it. So, yeah. No, I'm with you. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, it's one of the better coping ways when there can be.
Yeah. Just seeing if there's anything else. One of the things I like to really look at, by the way, in helping prevent burnout, and I hope you guys will do this at the places you go work at and the environments you go work in, is to take what we've done in this class and to try to regenerate it there. So you can, it's not, you have to have people cooperate a little bit, but you'd be surprised if you are stubborn enough, and most of you are, if you are stubborn enough, you can create the type of work environment that we have in this class. You can create it at your place of work. And it's a fun thing to come in and do. It's a fun thing to be the new kid on the block and see if you can actually change the culture of the place you work, because then you get to live in the culture that you created. So I really invite you to do that. Not just to be a part of a supportive, positive work community, but to actually help create one. You'd be surprised the amount of effect you can have. I think each of you have seen the amount of effect you've had on this class. And you guys have really contributed to this kind of positive thing. And you'd be surprised what one stubborn, positive person can do in a work environment. You'd be just incredibly surprised. And then you get to be in that environment. I can't emphasize that enough. Yeah. I don't. Stress, by the way. Stress is the #1 killer. Please watch your stress. Please, please, please. My father taught me something really good when I was a kid. He was a very permissive father. He let me do all sorts of stuff. Not that I didn't have discipline, but I asked him about it one day, and he said, I divide everything up in my life into 2 categories. What's going to matter in 100 years and what's not going to matter in 100 years. He goes, so if I saw you climbing a tree and I thought you might fall out of it and break your arm, I'd let you do that because I figure you'll learn from it. It's a good thing. If you're going to drink and drive, I wouldn't let you do that because you'll die and that will matter in 100 years. And so most stuff isn't going to matter in 100 years. Just pay attention to big, big stuff. Don't worry about that test that you missed 2 points on. Don't worry about what somebody thinks of you. Don't worry about the one massage client that didn't like your massage. It's just not that big a deal. Okay, I think what we should do